Our men and women in law enforcement work hard to try to mete out justice. They make mistakes. The FBI has been and should be criticized for those mistakes, as they have been by both the FBI Inspector General, who, for example, investigated the opening of the Russia investigation, and even the bipartisan Senate Intel Committee report. But neither found any evidence that politics motivated errors or judgment calls. John Durham's investigation was theoretically supposed to blow open the politicized corruption in our intel agencies and FBI, and yet it did nothing close to that. Look, the left hated the FBI when then-Director James Comey came out 11 days before the 2016 election and announced he was reopening the Hillary Clinton investigation. Whether that was smart or not, there's no evidence Comey did it to help Donald Trump. And there's no evidence to suggest Christopher Wray is targeting Republicans to help Biden or anyone else. The FBI is doing a hard job every day, and they do it well. Joining me now is someone who may disagree with me. We wanted a straight shooter who could speak his mind, isn't beholden to the partisan rhetoric on Capitol Hill. So we've invited Rodney Davis, the recently former Republican congressman from Illinois. Thanks so much for coming on the show. Appreciate it. What do you think I'm getting wrong here?
Well, Dan, it's great to be on again. Hey, look, if there's no partisanship within our law enforcement agencies at the federal level, then they should welcome the transparency that the oversight process can bring. They should welcome the opportunity to talk about what they're doing right in front of this select committee. But instead, there are a lot of Americans, Dan, that feel like there's a two-tier justice system. Look, I love law enforcement as much as you do. I owe my life to brave Capitol Police officers and Alexandria, Virginia officers who saved my life and my colleagues' lives on a baseball field a few years ago when we had a politically motivated gunman firing at us and screaming health care. He was trying to disrupt the balance of power in the House of Representatives. And the leadership at the FBI at the time determined, without even talking to many of us, or any of us for that matter, that it was suicide by cop. It's since been changed to domestic terrorism because there was a bias at the highest levels of the FBI. That's just one example of the bias that I've seen.
But again, the bias, you're saying that they're intentionally doing it because they want to hurt Republicans, right? I mean, you say two-tiered system of justice, that there are a lot of Americans who believe that. You know why Americans believe that? Because folks like yourself, more importantly, folks in the right-wing media who go much further than you do, because you're pretty, somewhere near the middle. There are a lot of people who are going after the FBI day after day. You wonder why people think it's a two-tiered system of justice? It's because they're being lied to in a lot of cases by people on the far right who are making stuff up about the FBI. And I wonder, look, the far left would like this sort of oversight with all of our major police departments. Is that next?
Well, look, I support law enforcement at the local level. The officers that I worked with in the Capitol Police, again, they're my heroes. Yep. They saved our lives. There's nobody I respect more. But during my time in Congress, I was specifically the lead Republican on the committee that had oversight jurisdiction over the Capitol Police. That didn't stop me from asking for reforms within how the Capitol Police leadership was governed.
Right.
And frankly, this oversight of the FBI and law enforcement agencies should be welcomed.
But you know this is not going to be typical and respectful oversight. They're targeting the FBI. They're not looking for answers. They're looking to try to humiliate Christopher Wray. We've seen it before, and we're going to see it again here. They're not looking to help improve law enforcement. You really believe that?
I certainly do. And I helped plan the oversight agenda for our committee going into this next Congress. And we were going to do what we could to make sure that the Capitol Police were doing their job and ensuring that the opportunity for the officers to get what they needed to be able to do their job would happen. Yeah. And I would look at oversight right now as an opportunity for Chris Wray and the FBI to go out and talk about how they've went after Democrats, how they're not politically biased any certain way at all. And this is an opportunity for them to prove that to those who doubt. And there are a lot of people, I can tell you, after somebody who ran and lost a primary in a very Republican district, a lot of people doubt that.
Thank you for watching. Go to newsnationnow.com to find NewsNation on your cable provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to to get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.